All right, Coach, it is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback. And no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Quick throw, complete out wide here to Green. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, he might be a little jumpy as well. Might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A 4-yard pickup that gets them going forward, but still 15 yards left on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Justin Houston in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Naeem Hines, his first carry. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shoot.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Julian Love picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you, and you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going into on your defense? Thank you. A huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Winston. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Stay with your man. Let's go. Let's convert. Let's convert. Let's convert. Hey, 5 on the 50. Let's go.
Jameis now on first down. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
3rd down. 3rd and 14.
Ready. Black 25. Here we go. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Even. Check three. Patch it. Slam. 49. Check 49. Let's go.
3rd and long for Winston. Looking for Campbell downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here we go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
No score after one on EA Sports. Second and 3. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's third and short.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Play fake. Winston. And incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They run the counter. It's Hines, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. He's going to air it out for Dorr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
He'll let this go end zone for Green. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A.J. Green, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to to the 26-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. Looking for Campbell downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at about the 14. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch tight end. Alert, alert.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now back to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And he's going to be brought down. back at his own 6-yard line. Devin Bush came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Wait. 36. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And brought in by the tight end, Cook. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Check 50.
2nd and 6. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Rock Ya-Sin, a rookie 2nd rounder from Temple, there to make the play. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
He'll look to throw. Escaping and eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Let's go.
Winston to throw it this time. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun. Winston looking for Campbell downfield. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down near the 5. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So backed up closer to the danger zone here from the 2. This is 2nd and long. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Just like that. Just like that. 58, boy, 58.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now it's Hines. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw, Winston. Ebron caught left side. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the former first-rounder, Artie Burns. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Back to throw here. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. The toss out to Barkley. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And all the way inside inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Now, the good thing for you, partner, is you're not as old as I am, okay?
True.
So back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, the right side of an offensive line was almost always your power side. Your bigger, stronger, physical guys. And on this play, they tossed it right and looked like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but that's not the case so much. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Jared Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that will make this a 19-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 32-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
It's our time.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Hines. Now he will have a first down here at about the 40. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game. That game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness. Did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also moved the sticks. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
They'll set up a throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. On the run, it's Barkley. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion, or even worse, an interception.
On second down, here's Barkley, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Check, fit, go, go. All day, pump. 53 to Mike. 53 to Mike. Coming to you, coming to you. 53 to Mike. 53, check 53.
Back to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Justin Houston racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Check pass, check pass.
Draw play. This is Hines. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They'll try to throw now. Winston. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Now Winston on 4th down. Under pressure, he's going to go down. Look at this, way back around the 43. O'Shane Zimenez. And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. They'll run it again with Barkley. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run. and just lost track, and it cost him.
I got one. Hey, that QB's trapped.
Looking to throw. Throws right side, and that's complete. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Good running from Barkley there on first down as he'll get forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll go with Snell here on first down. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Tackle made at the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On 2nd down, Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Here we go. Time to end it. Man, that's track. That's track.
They'll go to Barkley again. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them. I wouldn't worry about that very much at all. Just continue to do what they've been doing.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They run again with Hines. A big play there for Indy. 68 yards on the ground.
Ready? Black, what it do? Hey, eat. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you.
They'll run here with Mack. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Hines. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. One last shot now for Winston. And that's caught for the additional 2 points. It'll only matter to the final scoreline, and that is the final act of this game. Well, at least at the very end, there's something to take away. They lost the game, but got in the end zone, got a 2-point conversion as well. I don't know, though. In the end, you still lost the football game.
You still lost the game, but maybe they were just capitalizing on the flurry at the end, right? You score the touchdown, keep the momentum going, go for 2. Maybe they're working on something for down the road. As you said, it doesn't matter. You lose the game, but you finish with a touchdown and a successful 2-point
Some sort of a building block.
Yeah, something.
So for the Steelers, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, it's just their 3rd loss as they fall now to 10-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.